you know, during that period from 73 to 83, with all that success, I grew up in Los Angeles, and at least for that area, you know, rock radio did not play black acts much, even no matter how much they were rocking. If you weren't Jimi Hendrix, you were going to be lucky to be heard on those stations. So, you know, the Isleys, perhaps, you know, more than any other band during that era, really had a lot of rock influence in what they did, with along with maybe Funkadelic, but they were, you know, kind of different altogether. I think the Isleys were more accessible in their sound. So, you know, why do you think there was that resistance? And was it something that, you know, the band ever talked about or wanted to have that kind of crossover? Because really, as far as crossing over, Fight the Power, and Who's That Lady were really the big crossover singles, but I think so much of it should have gotten that kind of exposure.
Yeah, I felt we should have, maybe, you know, those albums were big, and they were a lot of them could have crossed over, I felt, you know, but you know, when things become political, you know, that's when you run into instances where, you know, I don't think Luther Vandross crossed over as much as he should have. You know what I mean? Because I think his music, it would have been acceptable on any format. You know, I don't know. It gets political sometime, and that's when I think the business is not the best it can be. I mean, it should be about music and music on its merits. That's what I've always felt. No matter who it is, they should be played on every station, no matter what. If it's good, play it. You know, forget the color of the artist. If it's good, play it. And that's how I've always felt. I don't see music that way. You know, I mean, some people might. Well, who's the artist? I don't care who the artist is. Is it good? Let me see it. Let me hear it. You know, that's all I care about. And that's all I've ever cared about. So when I see stations being resistant because, you know, an artist may be black or an artist might be white, you know, I feel that's wrong. Why are you resistant to a good piece of music? You know what I mean? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. It never did. So I think that's when the business isn't the best, and the audience doesn't get a full spectrum of what's offered out there. You know what I mean? I think right now, you know, England is doing a good job of doing that. They're playing everything. You know, they're playing everything. Reggae, they're playing jazz, they're playing R&B, they're playing pop, they're playing everything. And I think, you know, that's, you know, maybe America should look at that. Take a look at that, because they're playing music. You know what I mean? They're not playing race. You know, and I've always felt that was wrong. You know, when somebody said, "Oh, this guy's black," or "Oh, this guy's white," we can't play that. Why not? Is it good? You know what I mean? Why aren't you playing it? So I can see maybe when they say, okay, we want to be a country station or something like that, because, you know, maybe that's a little different. But at the same time, country, you know, some country stuff. I remember when country stuff was played on Top 40. You know what I mean? And it's because it was good music. I mean, I think there should be a reevaluation of that, you know, in America. That let's play music, man. Hey, let's try that. Let's try playing music and see what happens, instead of playing categories. See what happens.
Well, I mean, because of that, I think, you know, Ernie should be much more highly regarded and better known in rock guitar circles than he is.
I believe he definitely would be, you know, because, you know, if he got the exposure, more people would know about him. You know what I mean? It just goes that way. But when you start, I think when you start limiting things on the basis of something other than music, that's when you run into the problem. That's when you run into the problem of, hey, you know, we could have done maybe a little bit more if we were more open. You know what I mean? If we were more, if we just dealt with music just purely on the basis of music. Because I think that's a big complaint of a lot of artists, you know, is that, hey, you know, the record company didn't push us this way or the other way. Well, my question is, why does the company have to push it one way or the other? You know what I mean? Why not just service everybody and on the merit of it, choose? You know, that's more fair.
Absolutely. I think that's a topic we could spend an entire interview on.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a deep topic.